Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Welcome everybody to Collecting Star Wars. Well, our Black Series collecting recently has gotten a little out of hand. Typically, we like to review 1 or 2 figures on each video, but we just haven't had the time. So that's why on this video, we're going to play catch up by reviewing 10 Black Series figures all at once, including my Selfie Series figure. So hey, stick around, we're going to show them off and then narrow them down to my top 5. So let us know in the comments which top 5 would you pick. And hey, less talk, more action figure. Let's open these up and have some fun!
What fun! What fun!
Here's all 10 Black Series figures out of the box and ready to rock. From left to right, we have Cobb Vanth, Hondo Ohnaka, the Scarif Trooper Squad Leader, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader duels in from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, and my unfortunate Selfie Series figure. We've got a carbonized Stormtrooper, Commander Oppo from the 501st, Credit Collection, Moff Gideon, and Maul from the Clone Wars. So let's get this party started. We are going to eliminate these figures one by one until we get down to our top 5. And I think the first one to eliminate is rather obvious. It's my Selfie Series figure. First of all, the Selfie Series don't come with any accessories whatsoever, so I gave him this guitar just so we'd have something interesting. But no, they don't come with anything. Not a blaster, not a helmet, nothing at all. And this, yeah, I was going for a suntan, people. I promise you. They have great choices that you can choose from. Representation is there, which is wonderful. There's diversity. But I went too far. I thought the image was going to be me after a week at the beach. And unfortunately, that's not what I got. I think the likeness is pretty close. But yeah, I didn't get the right color. But that's okay, because that's not the only problem. He's got super warped legs from being in the packaging, and he's the old Stormtrooper body, which is a good body, but come on, they've had the new Stormtrooper body for a couple years now. I thought I was paying for a new Stormtrooper that I could get with a helmet and my face underneath. Instead, I got an old Stormtrooper body and not exactly me on the top of the neck. So very unfortunate, partly my fault, but I'm gonna blame Hasbro because it did not deliver what I thought was promised. But hey, I didn't pay full price, so my bad, but he's got to go. Next, let's see, who's next? Another obvious choice. It is the Credit Collection Moff Gideon. A cool sculpt, a good character, not a terrible figure, but I don't like these Credit Collection figures at all. The only reason why I got it was for the Darksaber, and he comes with an excellent Darksaber accessory that I'll be able to use with whomever I want. So got him on the cheap at Ollie's for $8, so he was worth it for that alone, even though I don't care for the figure. The cape doesn't stay on very well. He does have a little blaster in a holster, which is nice, and he really doesn't stand up all that well, so I had him leaning against the back. So as much as I love the concept art and I love the credits at the end of The Mandalorian, because they show off the concept art, I don't like it in figure form, so keeping the Darksaber and getting rid of this Moff Gideon figure. Now, the next to be eliminated, it's getting tougher because the rest really are terrific figures. But if I had to go with somebody, it's probably going to be the squad leader of the Scarif Trooper Shore Troopers. A good figure, one of my favorites in the new Stormtrooper designs. This one, I picked him up because he has a different aesthetic than the regular issue. Here's the regular one right here. He's got the blue paint on him. He's got a comma, which is nice, hanging down from his belt. But the big difference here that bothers me is the Squad Commander's helmet is too clean, whereas the original issue trooper is kind of got a nice dark wash. It's a little bit dirty. It looks a little bit more realistic, whereas the squad leader's looks a little bit more like a toy. So because of that, I prefer the original over the squad leader, so he's got to go. All right, now who's next? Because it's getting harder the more we eliminate to decide who we're going to take down. I think, let's see. Again, the old Stormtrooper body wasn't that bad. It did have pins, which they made an improvement on in the new one. The helmet is a little larger. I don't mind it. I think it works. Some people criticize it and say it's too big. To me, I think it looks just fine, especially in this cool chromed out version. He's got the other blaster that goes handily in the sheath right there, or in the holster, I should say. And he's a Stormtrooper through and through, but instead of white and black, he is silver and black. And he's got this nice, cool, extra long rifle, which I like. So a great figure, one that I'm proudly going to display, but in narrowing it down to my top 5, I think he's got to go. So we're down to 6, so it's time to make our final selection. Who will be eliminated and not make the top 5? We've gone ahead and reset the board, so let's make a pick here. Is it going to be Cobb Vanth? No way, my friend. This figure came out phenomenally. I really appreciate the weathering that they've done to the armor. It captures the lifelikeliness that we saw in the show, from the jetpack to the breastplate to the helmet. So well done. I love the tape on the barrel of the rifle. He's got a sidearm and a holster there on his hip. And this face sculpt is darn near perfect. Look at that. That looks just like the actor, Timothy Oliphant. And I like even the little details like this handkerchief, which is movable. So that has a little bit of play with how you wanted to display. So terrific figure. Cobb Vanth is here to stay. So will it be Hondo Ohnaka? I'll tell you what, this figure was given to me by my best friend Sean. I hadn't planned on picking it up, but he gave him to me. And once I opened him up, I was like, yeah, man, this guy rocks. I mean, who doesn't love Hondo as a character? And to see him in figure form on your shelf, I mean, we needed a Black Series Hondo, and we got a Black Series Hondo. I love his visors, his little shades there, and how they connect to sort of the ear mounts. It's kind of a cool look, neat design. His helmet, his dreads, the muted colors. This coat really came out nicely. Great texture, cool little blaster rifle and holster. So yeah, I am sold on this guy through and through. Hondo is staying in the top 5. So then we get to Grand Moff Tarkin. And though not perfect, I gotta tell you, that face sculpt, that is Peter Cushing in plastic form. Look at that. Really nice, great clean uniform, shiny boots, everything you expect in an Imperial officer. The only thing is, he can't really get the pose where he strokes his chin. The limited articulation. It's not a single, it's a single jointed elbow, not a double. You really need a double to get his finger to touch his chin, so he can kind of hold it in the air or make like he's going into the pose or coming out of the pose, but he can't quite make it. His arms don't really cross. They give you about that much. So not a perfect articulated figure, but a beautifully sculpted one nonetheless. And although he doesn't come with a blaster, he doesn't need it. But what you get is this phenomenal interrogation droid. Look at this. Came out so nice. It's got a perfectly cool, clear stand that it does rotate around on, so you can pivot it as you like. And all the details here, the paintwork, all the little hands and needles and claws that are coming out of this thing, really cool. A brilliant accessory, worth it for that alone. Plus, I got them on discount at Ollie's. So Grand Moff Tarkin is here to stay. So, is it going to be Vader then? Haha, yeah, right. Look at this thing. You can see Anakin's face in the damaged helmet of Darth Vader after he has that duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi at the end of the Kenobi series. Man, oh man, his creepy eye. It looks so much like Hayden Christensen. Other than that, it is your regular Darth Vader figure. He's got the damage to his breastplate from the lightsaber damage that he took there. So that looks cool. That's a nice detail. But articulation-wise, sculpt-wise, parts-wise, cape-wise, he's the same perfect Darth Vader figure that we've been getting for a while now, but with the added feature of the damaged and burned and scarred face of Anakin Skywalker underneath. Look at that dude. So amazing. I'm glad I got him, and he is staying strong in our top 5. So then it comes down to Maul or the 501st Clone Trooper, Commander Oppo. Great, man. I love this. It's on the new Clone Trooper body, so they got rid of the pins. He articulates well. He holds that long rifle. He comes with this standard blaster as well. And of course, you've got that Tamara Morrison face sculpt underneath. Another great example of the beautiful job that Hasbro is doing with the portraits. Looks really good. You can kind of still see his chin there, but if you get the angle right or you're looking down, you don't really notice it. And it's a big improvement from the previous Clone Trooper, or 501st I should say. The color is a little different. That's the only thing that bugs me. I appreciate the darker blue a little bit better than the older figure that I do in the new, but still, it's not that much to get upset about. And the helmet, the fact that that's removable, it's larger like it should be. It articulates better. It's cleaner. This one sort of has that really bad example of wearing that looks just kind of like mud instead of a nice dark wash, where this guy looks clean, and where the paint is, it's scuffed as it should be. So he is awesome, and he is here to stay. And that brings us to Maul. Maul was one of my most anticipated Black Series figures because I love this version from Rebels. He's got the mechanical legs. Man, this is the one I've been waiting for. He's got that great double-bladed lightsaber, which is actually 2 blades that connect into one. So they have slightly different hilts, which I really like that. But when I got him, I don't know what it is. It might be the face sculpt. It looks good at the right angle, but all in all, it's just too real. Since this is based on the Rebels animated version of the character, I think I would have preferred an animated face rather than this realistic one. That, and plus the fact that he doesn't articulate as well as I'd like him to. I was trying to get him in some dynamic poses, and this is really about the most interesting one I could get. And he just doesn't want to stand. Kind of get lucky right there, but every time I touch him, his ankles are just a little bit loose. And for that reason alone, I think he's just enough of a disappointment. He's close, he's almost there, but he just isn't good enough to make the top 5. And there's our top 5 from our big Black Series unboxing. It's Cobb Vanth, Hondo Ohnaka, Grand Moff Tarkin with the interrogation droid, Darth Vader Dual Zen from Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Commander Oppo of the 501st. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know who would be in your top 5. Go ahead and follow us on social media. On Twitter, we are at StevoSaysStuff, and on Instagram, we're Collecting Star Wars YouTube. You can even follow our other YouTube channel for inspirational videos, and that's called Devo with Stevo. But until next time, remember, be kind, stay strong, because you are the hero of your own story. You know what, guys? I just noticed this. I didn't see it earlier. I thought the cape was just the same, but look, it's got some nice worn frayed edges that he got in the battle with Obi-Wan. So that's a nice touch. And even a slash mark through the back of the cape that goes all the way through. Look at that. That's a nice detail. I did not notice that. So it just makes me appreciate this figure even more. Very cool touch. Not too much, not overdone, but subtle and very cool.